Hello, it is Saturday, March 30th, 2024. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday crossword, which means we're going to be solving what may be, and I think will be, the toughest crossword of the week. I've already seen mentioned that this is a particularly difficult crossword, so I shouldn't waste too much time, I suppose. And this particularly difficult edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by David Innes, Josh Lucas, Alex, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to those four. They're benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they support this channel, they sustain it, keep it going day by day, even when it's particularly difficult. And I really do appreciate that support, as I do appreciate the support from everybody who is a patron of the channel. So thank you so much if you've done so. If you'd like to, you could head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you will find the bonus videos available to patrons. There's been a whole raft of bonus videos this week as I've caught up on this month's what's due to patrons this month. So do check that out if you're a patron. It's all over there. And thank you again if you're a supporter. Thanks as well if you subscribe on YouTube, if you comment on the videos, like the videos. Those things are all helpful. And finally, you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server where you can commiserate about the difficulty of these puzzles and other puzzles and crosswords with fellow solvers. And there's a link in the description field to that. All right, let's get on to the puzzle. This is a New York Times crossword by Blake Slonaker, who's constructed around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Joel Faliano. It's a Saturday themeless crossword. Should be a tricky one. Let's start solving. Tackle item hung from floaters. Do I think this is probably tackle? It's probably related to fishing, but I don't have a clue about what that would be. Can. This could mean is able to, or it could mean a container, a can. Or it could mean can to fire somebody, actually. Oof, okay. Yeah, it really could be anything. Instruction to trick-or-treaters. Open your bag? It's obviously not that. I don't know. Okay. Stanley Cup edge. I think the Stanley Cup is a hockey tournament, NHL, final, I think is what it is. I don't know what this is about, unfortunately. Other than that, I assume. Los Alamos or Oak Ridge? Lab, some kind of lab. What? I actually don't know what Oak Ridge does. I mean, Los Alamos is the site of the development of the atomic bomb. But I don't know if these are both atomic related or not. Probably not. Yikes. Okay. Don't have anything so far. Rises in anger, maybe. Rises in anger. Goes red, maybe. I have no reason to believe this is the answer. It's just the first thing I've thought of that fits in a clue, or fits in a space. So I don't know. Let's look at the crosses. In fact, sorry, it's too absurd. It's too open-ended for me to feel confident enough to even try it. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep going. Loan insurance organization. Loan insurance organization. Loan insurance. There is, in the U.S., there is a federal agency, I think, that has some kind of mortgage, that's a sort of mortgage guarantor, something like that. Oh, goodness. Probably ends in A. That's my first, most brilliant thought of the puzzle. Where the Cedar Revolution took place. Where the Cedar Revolution took place. That's familiar. I will be able to recognize this when I see it, but I don't right now. It is useless. It doesn't do me any good whatsoever. I guess I'll just keep going. Wait, why did I look at that? Oh, because I have an A, which I think is probably right. Oh, I just saw something I know. Blank Bleu, nickname for France's World Cup team, Les Bleus, which is just the Blues. It's a very simple answer, but I do know it. I do recognize that. There we go. So that's something. Tackle items hung from floaters. Oh no, never mind. I thought it was maybe plural and I could put an S, but it isn't. Instruction to trick-or-treaters. Los Alamos or Oak Ridge. Wood source. Wood source. Forest, old growth, wood source. Much obliged, question mark. This is catastrophic. Okay. With 22 across, pricey import. Pricey import. Something ore or oil, maybe? Refined oil? I have no idea if that's right. I'm not remotely confident, but let's look at some crosses. Simple souls. I just don't feel prefix with parasite. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think this could be so many things. It doesn't do me any good to check the crosses on all these letters for something that may or may not be right. Prefix with parasite. Wow. Okay. Oh, I see another one I see. Director Nicholas. I see another one I see. I see another one I know. Nicholas Roeg, who directed the film Don't Look Now. Well, he directed several films, but I particularly love that movie. It's a great, great film. A really amazing atmosphere. Okay, can. They can. They are able. Right. Okay. Maybe that is correct. That's the first thing. That's the first thing that I'm not certain of, but that I think is reasonable enough to try. I was thinking is able before, but can also, it's also conjugates for third person plural. Let's see. When the lights, okay, I'm never going to, okay. Whirlpool subsidiary. Oh, maybe this starts with A actually. Because there's an appliance brand that starts with, it's 5 letters that starts with A, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, okay. I don't know, but now I'm less confident in this because that is really ringing a bell for me. Does that mean anything? Whirlpool subsidiary. I mean, I have no specific knowledge about it with respect to Whirlpool specifically, but I just know that Whirlpool manufactures home appliances, and so does this brand name. Amani or Amana. I think that's right. Can. Stanley Cup edge. Rises in anger, maybe. Rises in anger, like a horse rising in anger would rear up. Rears up could be the answer. Coming from. If you're coming from there, you're of it, you're from it. Coming from. Oh my goodness, I feel really at sea in this crossword. Coming from. Well, okay, the instruction is coming from him. It's per him. I mean, that is reasonable. That is, there is a way to make that grammatically work. Can. Oh, it's another meaning of can that hadn't even occurred to me, potentially, at least. It could be a can is in a toilet. I don't think I said that. It could be can is in a toilet, a crapper. That could be the answer. People often claim that Thomas Crapper invented the toilet. That isn't true, although there was a Thomas Crapper who did actually manufacture toilets, but that isn't the etymology. Okay, when the lights go out. I haven't a clue about that one. Like some schools. Home to Mount Chimborazo, whose summit is the furthest point from Earth's center, Ecuador. Okay, good. That I'm very confident about. There's an interesting distinction whose summit is the farthest point from the Earth's center, as opposed to necessarily sort of, tallest from sea level, I suppose, just because of the slightly oblong shape of the Earth. Keep in the back of one's mind, perhaps. Keep in the back of one's mind, perhaps. It's probably something. Keep in the back of one's mind. Okay, I don't know. C12, right, one across. What's this? Pricey import. Oh, foreign something. With that GN at the end. Foreign car, an import. Yeah, people often refer to a car as an import. There we go. Even when they're often foreign cars are partially or in some cases fully assembled in the country in which they're sold, but not always. Keep in the back of one's mind, perhaps. Don't know. Like some schools. Oh, Pascal, like religious schools? Piscine? Fish? Piscine? Yeah. Let's try that. Schools of fish. Could be. I want to say Piscine would be, a sort of Latin indication of adjective associated with fish. I hope that's right. I'm not 100% confident about this. Verb that becomes a 5-letter alphabet run if you change its middle letter. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, no, okay. Because this is abode. Because if you change the middle letter, you can change it to A, B, C, D, E. Okay, well, that was slightly disappointing. So, like some schools. Ice, something to do with home ice. Stanley Cup edge. You have the edge because you're playing on your home ice. There we go. That's what it is. So when the lights go out, it looks like my name. When the lights go out, what is it? Christmas something. When the lights go out, Christmas. I don't know what this is. I mean, it's obviously referring to Christmas lights in some way. I don't know what we're referring to. This is brutal so far. Kennedy Center. N? It almost looks like N's, as in the letter N, but they're not actually in the center of the word Kennedy. Only one of them is. Only the second N is actually in the center of the word Kennedy. So I don't think that's what that is. Maybe they just mean letters inside Kennedy. I don't like it how it's phrased if so. At least consider. I want you to at least consider it. I want you to I can't think what it is. That's annoying. I can't think. Literally milk. Lacto or something? If this were a C, at least consider. At least consider. Entertain. That's too long. No, it isn't too long. Entertain. Entertain the idea. At least consider it. It's certainly a valid answer. I don't know if it's the correct answer. It's a valid answer to the clue, but maybe not to this particular crossword. Literally milk. Oh, latte. Oh, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, latte means milk. Okay, well, there we go. Good. Seesaw, for instance. Not sure. Black ball. Not sure about that either. This is looking like ends, which I find very strange. Kennedy Center. I think it probably is. I think it's referring to the two ends in Kennedy, which is very bizarre to me because they're kind of part of the interior of Kennedy, but they're not actually the center of the word, unless you interpret center very broadly to mean just things that are in something. But I think it is, I sort of think it's the answer, even though I take issue with it. Paradoxical line of amazement. Paradoxical line of amazement. I assume by line this means something you'd say, a line you'd speak out loud, but I don't have a good idea for what it is. What about this F though? Simple souls. Oh, naifs. There we go. A naive person is a naif, so someone with a sort of simple soul, who takes things at face value, I guess. Prefix with parasite. Don't know. Trying to think of words that include parasite. I'm not sure offhand. Paradoxical line of amazement, right? I don't know about that. What about this? Tackle item hung from floaters. I don't think I'm going to have any ideas there. Instruction to trick-or-treaters. I don't know. Los Alamos or Oak Ridge? Lab site, maybe? Those are the sites of laboratories. Prefix with parasite. Octoparasite. Nanoparasite. It's funny how I didn't think of nano until I had a letter that contradicts it. I don't even think nanoparasite is a word. I'm just, maybe it is, I don't know. Anyway, I don't have any good ideas. Paradoxical line of amazement. It's too long. I don't know. Much obliged. Wood source. Is it going to be a kind of tree, a kind of wood? I don't know. Unit in a financial economics course, perhaps. Oh, that's interesting. Without the S, I would have assumed macro or micro. Oh, financial economics, though. I guess that's different. That seems maybe more specific to business contexts, as opposed to, say, broader economic studies. What would that mean? Financial economics. Maybe the banking system? Holds up. If one holds, well, it could be, I was going to say if one holds someone up, you hold stop them or detain them or something, but it could be holds up as in, oh, that film holds up. It's still good. It lasts. Although detains actually would fit in this. I don't know. It feels like there are too many possibilities to be very confident about that. Bit of greenery in a rock garden. Moss? Bit of greenery in a rock garden. Certainly could have moss in a rock garden. Patient check-ins. Could be, obviously, the most obvious meaning here would be a check-in on a or by a medical patient, but I suppose it could be a check-in that is patient, that is not impatient. Oh, wow, okay. They begin in Janeiro, so they begin in January, I suppose. That probably is. Años, years. There we go. Or anos, is it? They like some schools. Wow, this isn't turning into anything that looks like anything to me. Keep in the back of one's mind. Repress a memory. Right, okay. I see. Well, that's certainly correct. That's good, at least. That makes it more likely, oops, that that the cross is leading to some this are correct, or at least mostly correct. But pickle. Oh, you're in a pickle. You're in a bad something, a bad spot, that sort of thing. Plus slash minus odds. Is that? Can you indicate the odds, sort of, in a statistical or betting sense with those? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. On, off? No. I'm not sure what that is. Patient check-in. Something minders? Piscone. Oh, wait, no. Piscine. Why did I change that? Didn't I think that's what it was? Oh, I put an E here. I put an E there. That was a bad inference. Abide also works. Abode and abide. Either of those fits this clue. Oh, and it says a verb. I didn't even consider that. I'm sorry. That was an incredibly simple mistake that I should have made just by reading the actual clue. So it says a verb. Abode isn't a verb. At least I'm not aware of it possibly being one. But abide is, and therefore that's the answer. Okay, well, good. That all looks right. Patient check-ins. Oh, something reminders about an appointment reminders or something like that, maybe? Patient check-ins. Doctor reminders? That doesn't sound right. I think it might be this, though. Let's see. Black ball. Group concerned with digital learning. National Teachers Association or something? What is that? Oh, digital learning. Maybe it means with your learning with your fingers in a punny sense. I'm not sure. Means of excellence? Question mark. Means of excellence. So means in this context could be sort of financial, access to funds means, as opposed to means meaning simply ways, which you might think. I'm just thinking because of the question mark. Black ball. I don't know what we're looking for. I don't really know what the clue even wants, let alone the correct answer. Seesaw, for instance. Stripling. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right correctly, but stripling, because it's one of those words I only really see in older writing, but it refers to it's a sort of strapping young lad. It's a boy. So it could be boy or lad. I think lad feels much more appropriate to the usage of this word. I don't know if that gives me anything with this, though. Patient check-ins. Oh, gentle reminders. All right, okay. It is patient in the sense of being patient with someone, giving them your time. Okay, so this is going to be lad then. Means of excellence. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, Lebanon. Cedar Revolution, Lebanon. That's the answer, definitely. Okay. So loan insurance. Okay, well, all it does is confirm the A. Unit in a financial economics course. I don't know. Bit of greenery in a rock garden. Okay, that's not moss. That's sort of. I don't know if it's surprising or not. It's just the only thing that I thought of. Doesn't mean that it's particularly correct. Holds up. Oh, esteems maybe. If you esteem someone, you sort of hold them up. I'm not sure that's right, but bit of greenery. It's funny that it ends with S. That would be moss. I'm so obsessed with this being moss. It isn't. Yeah, I don't like this ending with S. Well, let's try detains then. Bit of greenery in a rock garden. Oh, aloe? Would you grow aloe in a rock garden? That would sort of make sense. It's kind of a desert plant. Maybe you'd have a rock garden in an arid environment. It is the official medicinal plant of the New York Times crossword, so there it is. Unit in a financial economics course, perhaps. Oh, bonds? Yeah, you could learn about bonds, fixed income instruments. Let's see. Wood source. Oh, it's nothing to do with trees. I mean, only indirectly to do with trees. But it's a golf bag from which you might pull your irons or woods, your clubs. Tackle item hung from floaters. Gill? I mean, fishes have gills. I don't have any clue about this other than that word maybe being relevant. Instruction to trick-or-treaters. Oh, one each, you might say to them. Take one each. Okay, so much obliged. On a roll. No, that's not on a roll. That is not the correct spelling of roll. In a hole. That could be, if you sort of imagine saying you're obliged, you have many obligations financially, many debts, you're in a hole. Yeah, I think there's a question mark for a pun. Oh, FHA, Federal, is it the Federal Housing Association or a Federal Housing Agency, probably? I think that might be what this is. That fits what I was trying to think of before. Prefix with is this octo? Surely not. Octoparasite. That sounds absurd. That sounds like a science fiction thing. Ectoparasite. Ecto has something to do with anatomy, with something to do with ectoparasite. Is it the opposite of endo? Is it referring to whether a parasite is sort of inside or outside of the host's body? I think that might be what this is referring to. Oh, gillnet. I don't know what that actually is as an object, but I think it might be the answer. Paradoxical line of amazement. There are paradoxical line. There are no words. That is paradoxical because you're using words to convey this thought. Okay, there we go. This looks strange, though. Means of excellence. Oh, maybe AA ratings? No, what is this? AAA? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Oh, well, maybe I'm just thinking of this because of bonds, but I keep thinking of single A, double A, triple A rated bonds because I see this. It looks like rates. Oh, A averages. That's what it is. Sorry, it's nothing to do with bonds. It's academically an A grade average. All right, seesaw, for instance. Oh, a lever. A seesaw is essentially a large lever. Okay, that pivots about a fulcrum. Event with ribs in two senses. A roast, yes, because you could have a roast at which you roast ribs, beef ribs or something, and then serve them. Or you could have a roast, a comedy roast in someone's honor in which you insult them in good humor and you rib them. Okay, there we go. Oh, black balls ate the 8-ball. Of course, I do know. Of course, I'm aware of the concept of the black 8-ball in billiards. Okay, ridiculous. So NEA, maybe it's the National Education Association or something. There is an NEA. There's also the National Endowment for the Arts, which I think is what I was thinking of first, but I don't know why that would be related to this. No need to blame yourself. No need to blame yourself. I'm not quite seeing what the words are here, annoyingly. What if this were A? Oh, it is that. It is an A. Accidents happen. There we go. Okay. Culprits behind some forced retirements. Age limits or something. Culprits. Age laws? Sounds a bit extreme. Laws. Let's see if the age bit holds. Tough. I don't know. Iron, maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure about this. Let's just try that. If you have an iron will, a tough will, that kind of thing. I'm not sure it's right. Play area at a harvest festival. Not sure about that either. Okay. Flim flam. Nonsense or Cobbler, people sometimes say cobblers to mean nonsense, but I don't think that's right. Camper's fuel. Petrol or camper's fuel? I don't know. This is a probably very straightforward one, and I'm just completely blanking. Making out. So this making out is another phrase that could mean quite a few things. It could mean making out as in identifying. It could mean making out, sort of romantically. It could mean making out as in how are you making out? How are you getting on? How are you doing in terms of what you're trying to achieve? It could be making out as in you're making out well in terms of how much money you're making, I guess. People do sort of say making out in that context in certain casual ways, but I don't think that's it. What do I think this is? Eyeing or making out? Hanky, slangily. A neckerchief? No. Hanky, oh, is a hanky a, can you use that to abbreviate? Oh, I have to get sorry, the doorbell's ringing. Okay, I thought that was going to be a specific delivery I was waiting for. It wasn't. I did not need to actually get up for that, but that's all right. Anyway, hanky, slangily. Right, I still don't know. Concentration in chemistry. Concentration. This is going to be one of those that I recognize from ages and ages ago in the one chemistry class I ever took. But I'm not going to remember it until then. Tennis star with a famed 1995 comeback. Trying to think who would have been. I don't know that I'm going to have a good enough memory for who would have come back in 1995 as opposed to already been around or what. Free blank, free play. I mean, there are many free blank expressions. When we forged ahead, the Iron Age. There we go. That's something. Okay. What about this? I never went back to this. When the lights go out. Christmas. Don't know. Golfer who qualified for a USGA Amateur Championship at age 10. I mean, that sounds amazingly impressive. I think it's Michelle Wee, just because I recognize the name. Sometimes I just remember sports people's names, even though I don't know very many specific things about their accomplishments, but at least have heard that they exist. So Christmas, when the lights go out. Christmas, I don't know what that is. Culprits behind film. Okay, let's find some clues I've not yet read. That's what I was doing before. Oh, right. Locals go to all of them. Locals go to, all of the stops. So a local train, for instance, as opposed to an express train. The local train stops at every stop. French is to blank ant as English is to ing. So you'd have, in French, you can have words that end with ant that have the same sort of meaning as ending a word in ing in English, like playing, the kind of noun version of that verb. Although in French, that can also be an adjective. Okay. Culprits behind some forced retirements. Oh, ageisms? That's a strange word, or a strange word to pluralize, if so. Ageisms. It's probably the answer. You could be forced into retirement because of ageism, I suppose. Play area at a harvest festival. Not sure. Flim flam. Codgers? I don't know why that would be it. What about this? Tough. Oh, a goon. A tough as in a sort of like a goon as in the sense of a I don't know, a bodyguard or sort of, why can't I think of any words for this? Tough, a kind of this is absurd. Tough person. I can't think of words. I can't think of any words. No wonder I'm not solving this crossword. A a thug or something like that. Play area at a harvest festival. Play area at a harvest festival. Don't know. Okay. Oops. Young partner. Ernst & Young is an accounting firm, I think. Some kind of financial services firm. Okay. Play area at corn maze. Corn field. Corn, I don't know. Flim flam. Oh, a con game? Right. It's a flim flam in the sense of you're being conned. Yeah, it's a deception rather than just sort of nonsense. So flim flam can mean, I guess, either of those, really. Kitchen mess. Actor who played DJ Venus Flytrap on WKRP in Cincinnati. I never really have seen, I don't think I've ever seen an episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. It's a sitcom that I do know exists. Who do I think would have played this character? I don't even know how to begin guessing that. Yeah. Name in 2008 Wall Street News. I assume this is going to be the name of a bank. So what? There was Lehman Brothers. There was, what are all the different banks that were that? And Wall Street. So specifically American banks. So it's not going to be. It's not going to be any European banks. Bear Stearns would fit, or the Stearns bit would. What about this? Free. I think this is probably right, but let's check the crosses. Free blank. Oh, free reign. You're given free reign, given control. Concentration in chemistry. Oh, tighter. That's what I wanted to say before, but for some reason I think it's, I don't know why I didn't think that was worth saying and considering. Maybe I just thought I was misremembering the phrase, but I do, again, like I say, I do vaguely remember this concept, sort of. Kitchen mess. A spatter of, grease or something. Oh, corn pit? Is that I don't think I've ever heard of a corn pit, but I think it must be the answer. No. Actor who played DJ Venus Flytrap. No. Oh, wait a second. This isn't ageisms, it's ageists. Sorry, I don't actually know this person, but I was just trying to think what names could work here, and then I thought maybe ageisms was wrong, and then I realized it is wrong. So Tim Reed, maybe? Name isn't familiar to me, but it could be. Refrain syllable. Oh, tras and tra-la-la, so the refrain of a song. You could just have that kind of syllabic thing. Okay, well, great. There we go. I'm getting there. Oh my goodness, already 36 minutes. This is brutal. Okay, camper's fuel. I don't know. Making out. Espying. Okay, it is to see someone with your eyes. Hanky, slangly, a nose rag? Do people call handkerchiefs nose rags, maybe? Maybe. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Plus or minus, or so. I see, you say plus or minus 5. 5 or so. 5 plus or minus 5 or so. Okay, camper's fuel. Or propane, that's what I was trying to think of. And I didn't think of it. Ugh. Okay, Pi Records, one-time label for the Kinks and Petula Clark. I mean, that may well be right. I'm sure it seems reasonable. Beach breeze, something air, sea air, the salt air maybe. Sylvester to Tweety, foe. Maybe this isn't salt. Tennis star, Monica Seles maybe? See again, there are a few names bouncing around in my head, but it usually stops there. Big blow, a gale, gust of wind. Oops. 2-character Mamet play. Oleana is I've never actually seen this play, but it's a David Mamet play that I think he himself also adapted to a film, which I also haven't seen, but I'm sort of vaguely aware of it and the premise. Okay, Christmas season. Oh, is that when the lights go? It's when... I was trying to think this was going to be a period after Christmas because the lights are turned off. It's not what it's referring to. It's saying when the lights go out. In other words, when we bring out the lights, the lights are going out. Christmas season. Oh, okay. I was just on the wrong track with that. And your reserves are your nest eggs. So money you have saved for a retirement, say. And then Sylvester to Tweety. Oh, tat. Right. As in, I taught a putty tat, which is how Tweety Bird, the cartoon character, I think Warner Brothers cartoon character, refers to Sylvester the cat. So, There we go. Wow. That was tough. That was, I think, a very difficult puzzle. That was the toughest, honestly, the toughest New York Times puzzle I can remember in a while. This was, to me, more comparable in difficulty to a Boss Words puzzle, which is the competition sort of league series that I'm solving on the Patreon at the moment. Have solved quite a few of over the years, but I'm in the middle of a currently running series of it right now, and they're meant to be clued a little more difficult than a Saturday New York Times puzzle, which I do find to be the case. But this felt to me more like one of those than a typical New York Times. That was tough. I just found that really tough. And it was tough both because of specific knowledge. I mean, there were very specific pieces of knowledge, like Gillnet, Cedar Revolution in Lebanon, Oleana, yeah, specific people like Tim Reed or concept or companies like Bear Stearns. I mean, there were specific bits of knowledge, but there were also very, very spare withholding clues like can, or I suppose this plus minus thing, or reserves, things that have many meaning, holds up. These are words with many different senses, and in some cases different parts of speech. So it was a very tricky puzzle. I don't think I scored an A. This wouldn't make for an A average week for me if I were being graded on my solving. So there we go. Tough Saturday puzzle by Blake Slonaker. It was a very long solve, so I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for joining me for this challenging edition of the Daily Solve, and I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday. Very long puzzle, but it shouldn't be as tough as this. In fact, it probably will take about as long as this, despite being a much bigger grid. So join me for that and find out. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.